What's happening, Sienna? It's Ryan Adams with the Adams Group at Real. Today, we're doing our monthly market report update on the real estate market here in Sienna. The question we're gonna answer today is, are we in the buyer's market or are we in the seller's market right now on this market report for the month of May? All right, once again, we do this market report every month looking at the real estate market and what are the things happening. Where's the market conditions for real estate? If you're thinking of buying or selling, you want to know this information. We try to bring you this valuable information every single month. We've missed the last couple of months mainly because we've had so many listings. Actually, for our team, we've set a record number of listings that are on the market in Sienna, and we'll get into why that's actually happening for us and the overall market. Again, we want to answer that question. Is it a buyer's market or is it a seller's market? So let's get into the key metrics, and then that'll help us to give you an analysis of everything that you need to know. Okay, first thing, number of sales. We had 53 for the month of April. By the way, we're going to be looking at the numbers from April 2024 to April 2025, and that's going to give us an indicator on what's happening in the market. So the number of sales for the month of April, and that's the month that's closed out, May has not finished, we had 53 sales. That's actually down 14.5% from the previous year. Days on market is at 56 now. That's up 7.6%. That's not a good up, it's a bad up, but it's taking longer, 7.6 longer to sell your home than normal. Active listings, there are 301 at the time of recording this, and that's up 36.1% in the previous year of how many homes are on the market. And then the average sales price is right around $507,000. That's down just 0.9%. So what does that all mean? First off, if you're out there and you're thinking, we're looking at making a move, we're thinking about selling, we want to buy the next house, when is it a good time? I want to just take a minute. Let's watch this video by Dave Ramsey where he talks about the market. Now, you either like him or you don't like him, but what I can say is Dave has been very good at predicting what's going to happen in the market. Let's take a look at this video.
Definitely been crawling, and I think it's going to take longer than we all want it to. And so for those folks who've been sitting on the sidelines waiting for something drastic to happen, quit waiting. If you're ready to buy a house, like you said, don't time the market, time your own financial life and go, now's the right time for us to buy.
This is the time to buy. I'm looking at several pieces of real estate right now. And I'm not doing that because Trump's in office. I was doing it before he was in office, and I will keep looking. But I'm only going to do the deal when the deal is right, and it fits in our parameters of how we do real estate.
That's right. And you're paying cash. And for those folks that are, they're taking on the mortgage, Dave, and they're going, well, Dave, the rates are so high. What do you say to them about the rates?
You marry the house and you date the rate.
So when it does dip down,
you just refinance. It's not that hard. Just don't buy too much house and don't be crazy. But your interest rate, if interest rates go back down to 3, and I don't know if they will or not, I never thought they'd be there to start with. So what do I know? But anyway, if they do go down, it's not that big a problem. Just refinance, and you'll have a little bit of cost, and within 18, 24 months, you'll get your money back, and you'll be rocking along making the better rate then after that. So don't let that keep you out of the market. If you're waiting on rates to come down, that's dumb. Because as soon as they go down, you're going to see some stimulation in house prices. They're going to offset them going up.
So what Dave is saying there is, it's a kind of a cliche statement, date the rate, which means keep it very like, hey, this could always change. Marry the house. Find the house you want. If it fits your budget, meets your financial needs, buy the house. And then date the rate, meaning the rates are going to change. Right now, they're still bouncing between 6 and 7%. They may get into the 5s. And then at that point, refinance if that's where you're at. But if you find the house you want, now is the time to buy, because here's what's going to happen. If you don't and you wait, as we've seen over the last 20 years, home prices have continued to increase in price at least by 3 or 4% every year. Now this month, they went down 0.9, but overall from year to year, 3 to 4%. So you're going to be saving a lot of money. The good part is you can't change the price of the home when you bought it, but you can change the rate. So if you want a better rate, buy it now, make sure it fits your financial needs, and then later on you can refinance. Okay, so what does all this numbers mean? So first off, obviously there's a little bit of a sales slowdown. If you looked at this graph, it shows that over the course of the last 5 years, we've had a tremendous drop in transactions. Over 2 million transactions dropped down nationwide. In 2021, we had 6.1 million transactions, highest ever. this year and last year, it's going to be right around 4 million transactions. That's what we're predicted. That's what happened last year. Probably going to be the same. So that means nothing crazy to think about, but that's probably the reason it slowed down is because of those rates. Second thing is we've had a inventory surge, up 36% on inventory in the market. So that means, like there's a lot more inventory, a lot more choices. So as a buyer, you got a lot more choices. As a seller, you got a lot more competition. And then it's just a little bit of an increase in selling time. So if you're a seller, you need to be patient, understand your home's you're not gonna put it on the market, it's gonna sell immediately. Now there are homes in Sienna that are still, like you put it on the market and they're flying off the shelf, but those homes have been all typically, they're priced right, they've been upgraded, and they've got some special features that a lot of the other homes don't have. Kind of the normal supply and demand thing. And then lastly but not least is a great thing, which is that the home prices still seem to be resilient, which they're not dropping. Average home price in Sienna is $597,000. By the way, that's $250,000 higher than the average price in Houston. So if we are going to see a little bit of a drop or a little bit of slowness compared to Houston, that should be normal because our home prices are $250,000 on average more than in Houston. So even though there have been slower sales and more days on market and more inventory, the home prices are still continuing to increase, just a small decrease this month though. So the last question was, is it a buyer's market? Is it a seller's market? To define what a buyer's market or a seller's market is, you go by months of inventory. That means if we were to stop putting homes on the market today, how long would it take for all those buyers to buy up all those homes? And to be a buyer's market, it would need to be over 6 months. To be a seller's market, under 6 months. Currently, we're sitting at 5.7 months of inventory. Now, Q1, the average was about 7.4 months of inventory, so that was in a buyer's market. Right now, we just went back into the seller's market, but here's what I would tell you. We're probably at a very balanced market, if not moving into a buyer's market. So what does that mean for you? Sellers, it means that right now it's going to be a much more competitive environment, and you need to make sure that you're pricing your home right, you have a good marketing strategy, you're working with an agent that's continually updating you on what you need to do to make sure you get that home sold, but pricing and marketing and staging is the key. Buyers, with the amount of inventory we've had, just think about this, in 2023, for every 2 homes you were looking at, today you'd be able to look at 4 homes because of the inventory increase. That also means that because we have longer days on market and we have more inventory, as a buyer, you should be able to get more of the terms you need to negotiate with. Maybe that's seller concessions, maybe that's a contingency, whatever it might be, you should be able to do it. Because back in 2023, 2022, you're having to compete against so many buyers. That's not the case. And so now you can get some of the terms that you want. All that to be said, that's the Sienna market update. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. By the way, we're opening up our new brick and mortar office. It's right at the front of Sienna, right by PJ's Coffee. Jet's Pizza's new, right beside us. We'll be opening up in the next month or 2. We're very excited. We'd love for you to stop by. We'll have a grand opening and everything like that at some point. But as always, thank you for dropping in. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us at theadamsgrouptx.com. or drop us a comment, and we'd love to help in any way we can. If you would like your own personal home valuation of what your home would sell for in today's market, let us know. Otherwise, we'll see you next time on Ryan Real Estate.